All right, this is Marcel from Brainstorm Brewery here. I'm with Nathan Holt and Shawn Kornhauser. If you guys don't know them, they Walk the Plains. They got many wonderful videos. You guys got picked up by Wizards themselves, and now you're on the team. You want to tell us about that experience and how that worked out for you?
Yeah, sure. It was a situation where, the first two videos we kind of just did on our own. And, the San Francisco video that we did at Worlds was funded by the community through a Kickstarter. And so, we were like really grateful for that. It was just a thrill for us to be able to make the video with the community's help. And then afterwards, we got emailed by, Wizards coverage asking us if, we could make videos for them. So
Sweet. How was that for you?
That was wild. I had never played Magic before, so Nate was really the one to suggest the first video in Philly. So I really didn't know what to expect, but it was a pretty wild experience. And then the Kickstarter, and going to San Francisco, and just the reaction from the community was pretty wild. But really exciting, really fun.
Yeah, so you mentioned that the Pro Tour Philly and the Infinite Fairies that made you famous. How did that go about? What made you really want to do the video, and why? What was the decision behind that?
My roommate at the time had really been encouraging me to make a video at this Magic tournament, and he was connected to some other video guys that he wanted to hook me up with, and I was thinking about it, and I was like, I don't know. Magic is just my hobby, and I still had a little bit of my nerd shame, where not many people knew that I played Magic except for all the guys that I played Magic with. So I don't know. I was a little shy about it, which is weird for me because I'm an actor by training. But at the last minute, I decided. Shawn and I had talked about wanting to do a video together for a while, and we decided at the last minute to just kind of show up at Pro Tour Philly and just mess around a bit with the camera. So there were some people encouraging me to do it, and I was really happy to be able to do it with Shawn, just because he and I know each other from back in the day, and had made a lot of other videos together. So
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So what's some of the technical difficulties that you find shooting Nathan, or just this in general?
Yeah.
Well, not to beat a dead horses, it's mentioned to Nate at least 5 times a day, but the height difference between Nate and some other people is a common issue. But a lot of people shoot with these shoulder rigs to stabilize the camera, but I can't really do that because for me to switch from Nate's height down to most people, I'd have to be shooting up at him. So I have to just hold the camera with my hands physically, which is a little trickier to keep it stable. So I'll have to kind of shoot up at Nate, eye level with him, and then quickly swoop it down to other people. And there's some other stuff, just filming gameplay and people's reactions and just timing. But we've done several 7 or 8 videos now, so I'm getting the hang of the rhythm of a Magic match.
And I think Shawn never really complains about my height, which is great, because when I've done other videos or little small indie films or something, the cinematographer is always complaining, I don't fit in frame with the other actors. They want me to crouch in the shots, or make the shorter actors stand on top of boxes, or something like that. But he does a really good job of the swoop. Yeah.
A lot of your camera works are very nice action, but they fit together. I seen you had that track, and how's that working for you?
That's good. That was just us trying to come up with a new visual element to our videos and shoot things a different way that you don't normally see Magic games being shot. Because a Magic game is very exciting in ways, but if you just sort of set a camera up and watch it, it's very static. So just trying to come up with a new perspective on filming a match. And so I bought a little dolly track just to give it some more motion and movement to kind of, I guess represent the energy that's there, but a little harder to really see as a spectator, perhaps.
So what are some of your favorite events or videos that you guys done, which is your personal favorite of the Magic ones that you worked on?
My personal favorite of our videos is the Pro Tour Avicen Restored in Barcelona. Once Wizards hired us, I just started thinking of ideas for a Pro Tour video. We had months before it came up, so I was just kind of coming up with all these crazy ideas, and of course most of them don't pan out. When sometimes you think an idea is really awesome and then you do it and it just doesn't work and you kind of have to throw it on the cutting room floor. But nonetheless, it was something that I was so excited for and that there was so much build-up for and so much time to just sit on my hands, and I was so anxious to do it. And when we finally got a chance to do it, it was a very satisfying experience. And so, when the video finally came out, it felt like sort of giving birth to something that I was pregnant with for 3 months or something, to use a graphic, weird image. Out. But yeah, I don't know what Sean's favorite video is.
I think that's our best video. I'm partial to our Worlds video from San Francisco. Just has a special place. It was kind of just our second video after Pro Tour Philly, and I don't know. I just thought we did a good job without kind of not really being settled and not really knowing how these videos should go. And at this point, we're much more familiar with how we like to shoot them and edit them. So I think just I don't know, kind of improvising a video on the spot in San Francisco, I thought we came out with something pretty fun.
That was a great video. So what are some of your creative, when you guys come at it together, do you guys bounce ideas off each other? Do you think about the shots beforehand? What are some of the ways that you go about it?
Totally. We do try to plan a lot of things, but not everything that you plan ends up working, and we always end up sort of improvising on the spot. Obviously we don't know what's going to happen at the tournament before the tournament begins. We can try to guess, but there always unexpected things come up that we want to try to capture, and so it's a combination of planning things together, talking through ideas, and improvising on the spot during the shoot. And then a big part of the process is editing or post-production, where those are more just like ideas and conversations that we have to try to I don't know, put it all together into one coherent thing. So, yeah.
So who came up with the Planeswalker character that you laid out with the cloud and everything?
Oh man, I don't even know. I think it was so all right, if you watch the Pro Tour Philly video where I do this in the beginning, and we use the song by a band called Rhapsody called The Magic of the Wizard's Dream. You just hear like a little pan flute come in. And I'm wearing this really ratty, like old robe that my friend Wendy made, and she made it for my younger brother actually. And my younger brother has a character that he calls Robe. And so it was like this weird performance art piece that he would do at parties in this character of like a robed wizard. And so that was the robe from it. And so I just kind of like was at his house the day before, and I was like, saw it lying around in his living room. And I was like, oh, is it cool if I just borrow that robe? We're going to go to the Magic tournament tomorrow. And we just kind of like, I don't know, improv. I just scratched out a little monologue on the spot. But I think the character might have died, except that Mark Rosewater said on Twitter that was his favorite part of the video. Whereas when I watched the video, I was like, look at me doing something schmucky and stupid. I liked it, but I was like, I don't know if anybody else would like it. But then Mark Rosewater says that was his favorite part, and I was like, all right, well, now I want to make this guy a character.
Yeah, I liked it too. It definitely gives this whole other element to it, and there's some of the seriousness to the videos, but that gives it this whole fun and very liveliness, and you kind of you can tell you guys are having fun with it.
Right.
So now you guys are like celebrities in the Magic world.
Oh, don't say that.
In a way, well, like we asked you to, the draft the other day, and then you're like, oh, we needed one more person. He's like, I'll be right back. Comes in, grabs Sam Black, and all of a sudden we're drafting there with Sam Black. We're like,
to be fair, I was as surprised as you were that Sam could. So, it's crazy. Like, I still look up to these pros, as sort of, demigods of Magic, because part of what got me really into Magic was not just playing a ton with my friends, but watching videos online, LSV drafting, or Sam talking about a deck, or whatever, listening to podcasts, reading articles. So I kind of like, I was starstruck by these players, so much so that like I couldn't even bring myself to talk to LSV at Pro Tour Philly. He was like right over there. I was like too nervous. I felt like I was going to throw up, like if I even talked to him. So we didn't even interview any of the Channel Fireballers at Pro Tour Philly for that reason. But it's cool. Like now, Sean and I know these guys, and we're very friendly with them, and they're very cooperative and really nice, and so I'm kind of like in this world where, you know, if you meet people that you really look up to, you feel really lucky to be able to do that. So, yeah.
Okay. So as far as Gen Con, what's some of your guys' experience? What did you like about it besides the coverage and whatnot?
Well, Gen Con is really awesome. I've never been to Gen Con before. I participated in the costume parade, you know, with the robe and stuff like that. I don't know, Sean, have you ever been to a big gaming convention like this?
No, never. Definitely a first for me. It's pretty overwhelming, and you know, we were working most of the time, so it's funny taking it in while working, kind of running the halls and trying to get shots, but still experiencing it as an attendee, but still trying to work at the same time.
Yeah, it's so, you know, whenever I had like 5 free minutes, I tried a couple times to run into the exhibit hall to buy a copy of Netrunner. The first time I went there and it was all sold out, and the second time I went and the line was like 200 people long. So there was definitely a lot of things that I wish we could have done if we had had more time, just having been able to see all the awesome things that are going on. But yeah, I mean, if we ever come to one of these things and we're not working, I think, you know, I'd just be gaming all day pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you mentioned you just started playing Magic now, Sean.
Yeah.
What's your favorite format, or what's your favorite way to play, and how did that start out?
I mean, I only know a couple ways to play, a couple formats. I'm familiar with others, but I've pretty much, you know, I've gotten some intro decks, but I've cube drafted with Nate from Nate's Cube and his brother's Cube, and I really enjoy that. Drafting is a ton of fun. Just building a deck is so far my favorite part. I'm not good at it, obviously, but it's really fun. And even if you know, I were to draft and build a deck and then perhaps not play with that deck, I'd probably be okay with that. It's just the process of building is pretty fun.
Sean's a really, you know, smart guy and a quick learner. So I first taught Sean how to play Magic at the Wizards of the Coast office. You know, like, we were there, and I was like, look, Sean, we have been hired by Wizards. You have to learn how to play Magic. We're going to do it right here. So they hooked us up with some intro decks. But since then, he's gotten pretty wicked. You know, the Duels of the Planeswalkers, I noticed ever since he started playing that, his play got a lot tighter. You know, he keeps a poker face better. No, he's no joke. He's no joke, for real. He'll take a match off of anybody, so, yeah.
Oh, I did the other day get the chance to play one game against Chris Pakula, and I didn't even know what was happening. It did not seem like a game of Magic to me, so take that for what it's worth.
Chris is, you know, an intense, awesome gamer. But he kicked all of our butts, to be fair. Yeah.
Okay. So what's in the future? How do you guys plan to take your coverage to the next level, and your videos, and what do you guys see you guys doing?
Yeah, I don't know. Right now we're just taking them one at a time. You know, we have an agreement now with Wizards that we'll do. We have this Gen Con episode, then a Players Championship episode, Pro Tour, Return to Ravnica in Seattle, and then Grand Prix San Antonio. And then after that, you know, we'll just play it by ear. I mean, you know, we haven't agreed to anything beyond that. I mean, we would love to keep doing it. But as far as an artistic vision, I mean, yeah, we want to get better and better if possible. Well, it's definitely possible. You know, so, you know, we want to work to get better, but right now it's so video by video that I don't know if we have like a 5-year plan or anything like that. Yeah.
I think we're already, you know, we spent a few videos just trying to, you know, nail it down so we can really just have a constant, you know, standard level of high quality. But then it's, okay, the World Magic Cup, kind of a new sort of tournament, you know, team play. It's like, okay, well, this is, you know, a curveball thrown at us. And then it's the Players Championship, which is also a different kind of tournament in a way. So we're still, like, getting these curveballs and...
Yeah, that's the thing. We're learning how to hit the curveball. You know, a lot of these things we'd never done before. So, you know, hopefully if we get a second time around, we'll be more polished or something, knowing what it's like ahead of time. So. Okay. Yeah.
So where can they reach you guys at? Let the people know.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You can follow us on Twitter at WalkThePlanes. I should mention there's a common confusion. It's probably our bad, but the videos are called Walking the Planes, but my Twitter, because walking didn't fit, It's at Walk the Plains is on Twitter. But you should also subscribe to Magic the Gathering's YouTube channel. That's how you can see the videos. You'll be alerted to them. But yeah, just hit us up on Twitter. We also have a Facebook page for Walking the Plains. Okay. So that's the best way to get in touch with us. We love it when people leave comments or give us feedback, criticism, ideas, whatever you have to say. We really appreciate all those comments. Yeah.
Feedback, even good or bad, and all
good or bad,
negative
absolutely.
Trolling, some of that can be a little much.
Right. Yeah, don't be a troll, but if you have some constructive criticism, I mean, there's nothing better. So definitely.
So when is this video going to be ready? Is it going to take a couple weeks for post-production?
It's going to take a couple weeks. There's a big scheduling crunch here because the Players' Championship and PAX is coming up like in 10 days or something. So this video, unfortunately, will not be done in time for PAX. So it'll be coming out after PAX. Okay. But hopefully not too long. So it's a busy time, but it'll be a couple episodes right in a row, though.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, here we go. The left hand and the
Yeah,
Brainstorm Brewery.
Brainstorm Brewery.